Elijah is like, oh, let's issue a challenge. Let's show all these people who is God, right? And you guys know the story of Elijah. But going briefly, what happened was, at first Elijah tells King Ahab to bring all 450 of Baal's prophets. And he's like, call all of them, one of me, let's see whose God is going to answer. And then after he lines them up, in verse 21, in chapter 18, verse 21, first Elijah addresses the people. Elijah went before the people and said, how long will you waver between two options? If the Lord is God, follow him. If Baal is God, follow him. These people are like, we're Israelites and we believe in Yahweh, but then also pray to Baal. Like, kind of what Jeroboam the syncretist has instituted into the worship of Yahweh. But then Elijah comes in and he's like, stop wavering, no more. If the Lord is God, follow him. If Baal is God, also follow him, right? And then he turns to the prophets of Baal in verse 25. And Elijah says to the prophets of Baal, choose one of the bulls and prepare it first. Since there are so many of you, call on the name of the Lord, but do not light the fire. The challenge is the true living God must respond with fire to consume the altar that they've prepared. These prophets of Baal start calling out, pleading for Baal to answer them. They plead from morning to noon, there's no answer, and then Elijah starts taunting them, and he's like, maybe get louder, maybe God is not listening to you because you're not louder, right? And he's mocking them. And midday passes, no answer. They're cutting themselves, just like showing some type of oath and dedication to their God, and there is no response. And then we see Elijah taking his turn. Starting from verse 30 to 36, I'm just going to quickly summarize it. What happens is Elijah repairs the altar that has been broken. He takes 12 stones representing the 12 tribes of Israel, and he builds an altar in the name of the Lord. And then he instructs the altar to be drenched with 12 jars of water. They have 4 jars, he says, repeat it over and over 3 times, so 12 jars full of water over the altar. If you want to spark a fire, to wet the area is not ideal. But he knows that Yahweh is a living God and that he will answer with fire. And then in verse 34, he prayed, answer me, Lord, answer me so these people will know that you, Lord, are God, and that you are turning their hearts back again. And then immediately in verse 38, it says, then the fire of the Lord fell and burnt the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, and the soil, and also licked up the water in